How do you jazz up a basic garment? You add a cute little pocket. Have some cute ones. Show you how to do them coming up. Hey, Chanel here, bringing you weekly videos to help you get better and better with your fashion sewing and be more creative too. So be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll never miss out on a new video. Pockets are fun to make. So I showed you in other sew bits how to do a patch pocket. Now I'm going to show you some designer pockets to make. There's all kinds of pockets. If you look in the pattern books, you'll just see, sometimes it's just the simplest fashion and it's just got a really cool pocket on it. So really fun to make. But this one was on a skirt pattern. It was just like panels of like 8-gore skirt, had a yoke on it. And this was a pocket that was just inset in between the panels. That's why it's got raw edges here. So it just has a band and then gathered right here, and really cute. I also did a little different version on it. I did a tie, like a little fatter tie. So actually after I did that sample, I thought I think it'd be cuter with the little fatter tie on it. So really simple pocket to do and fun and rewarding when it's all done, and really customizes an outfit, especially a skirt on this one. But you could put this into a jacket, into the side seams. It could go anywhere. So let me show you how to make it. Also, I'm going to show you how to make this simple pocket. It's just a pocket shape with bias tape stitched around it and attached to the garment. That's pretty simple. So let's get to it. Okay, our first pocket is from this pattern, simple skirt pattern, and this one pattern here has the pocket in it. And I love this pocket because the seams, the side seams, are just tucked into the side seams. You don't have to shape the pocket and get it exact. Makes it just a little bit easier to do. And I did want to change the ties, and that's what we're going to start with. This was the pattern piece here, and I've decided to make it wider, and I'm actually going to put it in a V shape. So I did these little V shapes, and I'm going to do it shorter. So I just did this strip here. This will equal 2 of them, which I need 2 per pocket. So I'm just going to sew here and then leave an opening here and then turn it inside out. At least I hope that works. That's my plan. so that's going to be the ties. Then I have, this is the band pattern right here. It's that part right there. And that requires pressing, which I already got started. So I just folded it in half like that. This also has notches which shows where to go. And then the other part, this part is also folded in half, or not half, a 1/4 inch down, and that's going to be on the inside, and it encloses all the seams. So you've probably seen that in instructions all over the place. So that's the band part. And then this is the pocket bag, and it has notches up here, which just means gather stitches in between there, and then there's some actually notches here that I didn't make as big of a V, and gather stitches there. So I'm going to go and take these and put the gathering stitches in here, and then I will start on the assembly. Okay, I'm going to put my gathering stitches between these notches right here. Just couple quick stitches. You can just do 1 row, but gathers always look better when there's 2 rows of stitching, more even. Okay. Put them between I got 2 notches right here. That's the notches to show you where to put the gathers. So I have my gathers here, and these always gather nicely if you use the bobbin threads. So I would get these here and then just pull this a little bit like that. I don't know actually how they're going to fit on the pocket, but I'll just get it started. All right. Okay, I have these stitched, just my little V shapes here, and then I found the half of this, just sewed 2 at a time, cut it in half, and then oh actually I could have just sewn it all the way up. I left a round part. And I can actually, well, I didn't have to do that. So now I'm going to turn this inside out. Right here, and then while I'm here, I'm just going to use I like to use chopsticks, the plastic ones, of course. The other one's got splinters on them. And just turn that inside out like that. And I would go and press this, but for demonstration purposes, I'm not going to. This didn't come out so great, but I can actually make it a little bit nicer. I think I needed to go a little bit deeper V there, so trim that pretty close. Turn this inside out. Get it going like that. Oop, I'm flying. Get the little V shape out. That one looks a lot better. It all depends on how you sew it. Get those out. Press those. Actually, these will be kind of nice when they're not so pressed. They'll be a little bit bubblier. Now I got to attach them to my pocket bag. So I have this gathered up here, and this says these actually still look really long. Actually, I think I'm going to cut them off a little bit. Just both of them equally a couple inches. They just look so long. And I'm going to put one on the right side and one on the back side evenly right in the middle, and you pin it. You could baste it down, but don't need to. Then I'm going to take the I pressed that, got it all ready to go. Just going to sew this now right over all that, I guess 5/8 like that. See, then it goes that way and closes and goes that way. Okay, so I think first step I'm going to sew this, then I'm going to be taking this and sewing that straight down that way to enclose all of that. Be right. All right, got this all stitched in here, top stitched down here. Looks great. I just got to tie these little ties a little loosely right here, and looks much cuter than that other stringy one. Like that. There we go. Cute pocket. I tell ya, I love that pocket. Now I have to attach this to the panel, and I've cut out a strip from this pattern here to do a sample on, and I have to watch or find the placement line. It says pocket line A. I don't really know which pocket I'm doing, but got my notch here. I'm going to mark the placement line. I'll just put like 4 or 5 pins in here, like that, and I place them up this way, and then just get a quickie little chalk mark right here, and take these out, and then I have my chalk mark here, and then this is supposed to end up like that, so but I got to turn it right sides together here, and then match up the end of this right here. Just pin this in here. I've got this other part gathered here. Get a little more evener here. And a nice even gather right there. There's my mark right there. And then I'm going to sew this 5/8 right here, and I'll be able to turn this right side up. There will be my pocket, and then I'll baste this here, and that will be the pocket. All right, I'm going to go take this to the sewing machine and just sew that down right there. Okay, got it stitched. Then I want to take out these basting threads here, because they probably show on the other side. Right here, they show. You can just take all those out, just pull them out right there. Then there is a cute little pocket. Just gonna press this up here, baste this to the side seams right there, and then this pocket is ready to get inserted into the other skirt seams right there, and there's your pocket. There you have it. That is so cute. I love that pocket. Here's the other one, the sample I made with the same color tie, which is cute, and a little string. So you can always, you don't have to keep the way you can always adjust the pattern. That's what I'm trying to say. Looks pretty cute. So just put this inside a skirt. You can put, you can make these pockets, just kind of draft your own, put them in any kind of skirt. Doesn't have to be that pattern, but practice that. That was pattern 2655. I don't know how old this pattern is, but there you have it. Cute little pocket. All right, now to the next pocket. Our next pocket is this one here. I did the sample right there, and it's basically a patch pocket. It's on this pattern, it's enclosed in a seam, or you could actually just go all the way around it with bias tape and make it a truly patch pocket, but this one's actually going to get enclosed in a seam. Opening is right here, like that, and this is on a vest pattern, but they are on some really, you can put these anywhere. They are tricky though, because the bias right here, making corners, pivoting, is the hardest part. And I actually practiced this before I did this practice run right here, because I'm not really good at mitering the sides. So this is actually not a complete miter. It just turns, and I found that my fingers just kind of worked in there and made it happen. I don't know. Maybe it's all my practice of working with bias tape. But so bias tape, what you want to do first with these is to press out these creases, and you'll notice on bias tape you have one side that's a hair shorter than the other, and that's designed so that the longer side is underneath, so that when you stitch close to the edge here, it catches a little easier. If they were both even, it would be more odds that you would miss the underpart. So they're designed actually this way. Another thing too, I found this in my stash. This is bias tape also, and it has a print on it. So if you ever find some printed ones, they're pretty fun. They make a cute little pocket. You could also, of course, always make your own bias tapes too. So our first step, what I'm going to do here is measure around. I'm going to kind of estimate how much I need, and then cut it off so that I don't have this cardboard in my way, and just have what I need plus a few extra inches, because sometimes when you're turning the corners, you need extra. All right, I'm going to press this, and I'll show you how to prep this. All right, thought I would show you the directions here. It's showing it just pinning, placing it and pinning. There's no stitching until it's a top stitch here, which actually, I guess, makes it a little easier. So this is the pattern piece here, and I'm just going to take that off. I'm going to be leaving this side open. Might want to make a mark right here to say don't sew on that side. And then pressing this bias tape before you get started really softens it up. It really helps. So I got my shorter side is going to start, is actually going to be the start right here. So I'm going to turn it around this way and then pin. I'm just going to get that raw edge. I also pinked this pocket too, because so it wasn't fray. I'm going to get it right where that fold is at, right there, and get as much fabric in there, and then it also makes it even. And then they showed to pin it this way, so you could actually pin it that way, and just go around the edges, making sure you have the shorter part here, so that when there's a little extra fabric going that way, then we come go all the way up to this curved edge. And this is where we got to figure out how to get this V'd. I say just go straight up that way. Then there's like this little fold under here, and it goes back around, and then this folds also, something like that. I see, I'm gonna have to change my gears here. I'm gonna go up this way. It's kind of a tricky situation here. You just gotta, there it goes. Gotta get it V'd the right way. Actually, I'm gonna pin this down here. I think I got that. This is so tricky. Just gotta get it in the shape. You just gotta tuck it under, pin it. That way it should resemble some kind of V, and then the goal is to stitch it all the way around like that. Not sure I got that right, but as long as it looks good on the top side. Now I'm gonna go to the end here. I want to put a pin right here, hold it down. Not sure. Then I gotta go underneath here. I'm going to fold this fabric underneath and then get that going that way, that way, and then tuck it under. Really takes a lot of practice. Oh, there's so many corners. This is hard. You may not want to do it. But it's really worth it. It looks really great. And when I saw my teenage student do this with such ease, I thought, you know, I think I can do this. One of my students, Callie, she made this vest and just felt like she had no problem with it. Couldn't believe it. Okay, so we got V's that way, and then we just go all the way around. And then by the time you get to the third V, you're probably getting pretty good at it. So I'm going to go to the end, flip the fabric, the little V underneath here, flip it over this way. I have that little lip there. Tuck in that, make it into a diagonal shape there. Move that out of the way. So I'm just going to tuck this. Seems like it's a little easier to get this pinned here. Then come back after that. There we go. Just takes some practice and some patience. Okay, see how that turns out. Then just go to the end here. Actually, I forgot to trim my bias tape off. So if I would have cut this off and not had all that to work with, it would have been probably a little bit easier to maneuver too. So actually, I'm going to go and get this right here. And now I have to go sew it. Other thing I might want to do is actually go press this, all these corners. A lot of times I'll use silk pins in those situations right here, so I can press right on top of the pins. Because silk pins are sharper and they have glass heads, so you can actually press right on top of them. So I'm going to put a pin right here too. And I'll put a pin right there, because I'm just going to put my iron right on top of that so I don't have to take the pin out. There you go. Put another pin right here. Okay, I'm going to go press those and then to the sewing machine. All right, got these pressed, so it's going to be a little bit easier to sew there. And I'm going to be just stitching really close to the edge right there. I'm still not used to this sewing machine. So I'm gonna, let me see, I'm on straight stitch. Right there, gonna here. My first pivot point here. Ooh, it's clumpy there. Okay. Get this one ready. If you use a darker bias tape, all the little mistakes won't show up. If this were black, you really wouldn't see it. Close to the edge. Here. Not too worried about how it looks on the back. Right there, pivot. Ooh. Right off that. Okay, there is my first stitch. Looks all right in the back. Oh, actually looks pretty good. Okay, now I got to attach the pocket to the piece of fabric. I have this fabric here. It's going to attach this. Your garment would probably have placement lines here. I'll just move this here. Get that lined up. And then I'm going to top stitch. Actually, I think if I just put pins all the way around here, it'll be easy to sew down. So I got to keep this open here. This is just baste it. So I'm going to start here and then go around. So if I get this right here, and you're just going to baste, or not baste, you're going to stitch it right here close to the edge. I'm going to really make sure I reverse stitch there so that it's strong. Get a couple stitches back, get started. I'm just going to sew around the edge. Actually, I'm sewing it to the fabric. I think if you pin it inside here, it'll stay in place, and then you don't have to worry about it moving. Pivot. Always needle down with pivots. Close to the edge. All right, and then this part is just to baste it on to the seam. There we go. Take that off there. And now there is the pocket on there. All right, I'm going to go press this, take the pins out, and see how it looks. Well, there you have it. One patch pocket, bias trimmed. Looks really great, and it works. This one goes inside a seam, but you can actually do any patch pocket. Just trim it with bias tape, because bias tape rolls. You could actually even do a circle. Turn it around there. You have to figure out the ending on it. Make sure it's smooth. The darker bias prints or a print actually hide all these little problems you may have on these little corners like that. So there you have it. 2 different pocket designs. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, or if you have done any creative pockets. I'd love to hear about it. So I'll see you in the next sew bit.